Hello and welcome back to How Not to Adventure. I am Rob. I'm playing Dalton, the arsehole paladin. I'm joined by Josh as Brother Malk and Doug as Nagash. We are adventuring around the town of Greenroot, solving their general problems, and we find ourselves in a mine. Chris, our lovely DM, is going to give us slightly more of a quick catch-up and round-up for those who may have missed previous streams. Thank you, Chris.
I mean, you say that. Okay, so a quick roundup of what's happened so far. Would you prefer me to start from the whole roundup or just? Yeah,
start fresh. From the start, basically. We haven't done much, so it's fun.
Okay, yeah. So our three inept adventurers have landed in the town of Greenroot, coming ashore from a passing trade ship. They've met the mayor, they've met the local bartender, and a fellow who likes keeping lists. Quite quickly, they were essentially thrown out of town to go and adventure and retake a mine that's been captured by kobolds. So far, the three of them are in the mine, having escaped a few close calls. Some very close calls in the case of Brother Malk.
And we pretended to be Girl Scouts, don't forget that.
Yeah. Counter-ambushing the kobolds by pretending to be Girl Scouts. How could I forget? Oh yes, the amount of alcohol, that's why I tried to forget. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we are with our intrepid adventurers currently huddling in a mine. A cold, wet mine. Surrounded by dirt, crying, pooing themselves, waiting for the kobolds to come and.
Excellent.
Also, this was a long rest, if I remember correctly.
You remember incorrectly.
Yeah, I don't recall that either.
Oh, damn it!
Just scanning back through my.
I do recall giving you the option of. I say the option, giving you the recommendation of going back to the locked building outside.
We did go back there.
You did, but you only went for a short rest.
Yeah, well, that is true. No, we went for a short rest. It's fine. Looking back quickly through my notes, I realised that I picked up a few lumps of gold, and I put a note to myself here that I could either sell them for some profit, or I could use them to throw at kobolds. So I'm glad that I took the time to write that note down. Also, more importantly, highlighted quite specifically is. I've got some threats against Jim the Ledger guy, who we met in the very first episode. I will be coming back for him one day. And the mine we're in, I've got the name of the mine, if you all wanted to know, these gripping details, is the Deep Seeker mine. And it's full of kobolds, and we're going to get paid 150 gold for clearing the dirty buggers. And, yeah, there you go.
No, I find some magic dealing.
You did indeed, Douglas. Did you not write it down?
Well, I did, but my notes.
Have you moved house and lost all your notes again?
Yeah.
Just like last season.
It's like last season all over again. Although I'm pretty sure it was someone else who lost their notes last time. Brother Malk.
And to be fair, I lost my notes last year as well.
Jibblewick, who obviously is not in this party currently.
Yeah, clearly.
Different campaign.
No, I got rid of him when I got on the boat on the way to Birmingham to deliver this letter. That is my secret agenda.
Wait, you shouldn't have said that.
Oh, but I said too much. So, just glancing at them. Go for it, Doug.
Can you tell me what the magic daily did?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Oh, I might as well tell you as they all remember. They all know anyway. So you picked up a magic rock from a minecart.
Yeah.
That gives you an additional 1d4 damage to your magic attack.
Ooh.
That's pretty neat. You also spent most of last episode hiding things under bed sheets as well. You recall?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was recapping at lunch. today. So where do we find ourselves now? We're obviously in the mine.
Yep. If you return to the map that I sent you.
Yep, looking at it.
Yeah, cool. If I remember correctly, you guys should be in room 3.
The third sector.
Yeah, the third sector of the map.
Ooh.
When you move on to the next area, I'll obviously give you a new map. That means having to open up all the paperwork again. There we go. Okay. And paint.
So obviously the highlight of nice phone, Doug. The highlight of last episode was pretending to be Girl Scouts, obviously. Although, to be fair, I think the actual genuine highlight was Brother Malk going berserker on the first kobolds we met on one hit point. That was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I missed everything, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were awful.
Battle with 0 damage done by anyone but Malk.
Yes, you were quite shambolic, it's got to be said.
I feel like
You are a popular man today.
Of every episode that I had this great feat once, because I feel like it may be my only feat for the whole series.
Well, okay, we'll try and pencil that in as a quick reminder of your once fluked victory.
Someone else can remember that.
I'll write it down.
On your skin.
So I would like to press on into the mine, if that's allowed.
Are we rolling for a short break? A short rest, even?
You've already had your short rest.
Yeah, we'd have to take a full rest to.
I'm gonna keep on saying this until I somehow get some more health.
How much health are you on?
5.
Ah, I'm on 7, so you're doing just slightly worse than me.
Right.
I don't know. So I'm gonna just say full.
To be fair, I don't remember you taking any damage, actually.
I think I'm on 6. 6 sounds about right.
Okay.
I mean,
And I'm down a spell slot, I assume.
Yeah, you used your green mist thing.
do
Well,
you even remember what spells you've got?
Yeah, because they're on my phone.
Oh, good. Oh, goody. Cool. So, I'll give you a relatively easy hint because that map's not the best map. Would you like to go north or south?
are they basically identical, like in choices?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just different rooms.
I feel we should go south, because all maps, they start on one end and they end on the other. They don't go.
I don't know. There's a logic in them ending in a horseshoe, so you work your way around and back up. Anyway, let's go south.
Horseshoes.
Let's go south.
Okie dokie. Bear with me a second whilst I redraw this damn thing.
I imagine the cave is a bit damp and moist.
It is indeed rather moistened.
And I also imagine that Brother Malk is probably scared of the dark.
No.
Brother Malk is the dark.
Alright, Batman. No, Bane. Alright, Bane. I was born in the monastery.
Nobody cared who I was till I put on the bar.
Check out my fedora.
It's a pirate hat. It's a pirate hat. Enough of that.
I'm still
Okay.
doubling the light
Ah, yes, perfect.
control flames spell.
There we go. That should be. There's your updated map.
Hey, there's a smiley face.
It's just a sad smiley face. Okay. As we move on into the next area of the mine, everything seems pretty quiet. I mean, when you're in Area 3, you managed to tempt out quite a few kobolds with your Girl Scout routine. You can't really hear much. Yeah, it just seems to be more or less an empty corridor at this point. There's lots of glittery stones and rocks in the walls and all that sort of shizang.
Excellent.
Yeah. it does look a little bit more worked than most of the other areas. Oh, I remember what we were. You were going down this way anyway. I completely forgot this section. There were two. Sorry, I'll go back a little bit because it's that reminded me. So the north and south routes were two different routes. Obviously, the north route seemed to be more of a uncut, untouched area, more like a natural fissure in the cave. Whereas the route that you've taken is the route that goes down, has the tracks, and seems to have been the route used to extract ore. It definitely been trodden more than once. Some might say many times, as it is the primary source of ore.
Many times.
Many times.
Can I do an investigation roll to see if there's anything that
You can indeed.
stands out to me? Fantastic.
Also, we're not having the roll thing up in the stream.
Oh, yes, we are. I just put that there temporarily. I'm going to remove it now that we're ready for our first roll. Here
Excellent.
we go. Bam. First roll of the night. An 8.
Okay, as you investigate the area, you don't notice anything too unexpected, really. Leftover tools, boxes of equipment here and there. Yeah, nothing massively out of the ordinary. Maybe a couple more overturned mine carts here and there as well.
Do these have wheels?
Some of them have wheels. Many of them have wheels. Yes.
All of their wheels on though.
Yes.
Full wheel. Interesting.
Yeah, there are fully wheeled mine carts.
So in theory, I could put Brother Malk in a mine cart and push him down.
Yeah, are the carts empty?
You could very well do that if you so desired.
How big are the mine carts? Could we all fit in, like one or two?
You'd probably have to fit a person per cart.
Person per cart. So in theory, we could just like full on bomb down into the center of the mine. Thus, where I assume the center of the action is. And
I mean, judging from the map that you've got, you're more or less there.
Oh, that's
I was gonna say, like,
that's probably true.
Knowing maps, kind of looks like there's going to be a point of interest in that large circle a bit.
Well,
potentially. I mean, it was a randomly generated map.
Well, I've wandered around with my solid 8, and I've seen some mine carts on the floor. Perhaps someone more intelligent than me, wearing a mask, could look into it.
Perhaps indeed. Perhaps indeed.
I will do a perception check. Oh.
You look at the floor and go, rocks.
His mask has fallen slightly over his eyes, so he can't actually see, but he's trying to bluff it out so that he doesn't get embarrassed.
Yes, we appear to be in a mine.
+2.
You still appear to be in a mine.
+2, so 6.
I step in to investigate a little further after the rigorous work by Nagash.
For the love of God, please.
We're just going to stand here for 20 minutes rolling dice. It's better than mine.
Yeah. You also see some mine carts.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So what are we actually? What is this middle part compared to the outer part? Is it a big hollow?
Down.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as I was saying, it's not exactly a planned thing that I had anything in mind for it. It was just that was part of the map.
Make
something up, Chris.
Well, maybe I was trying to, but you didn't roll high enough.
Do you reckon you should
asses.
do control flame and throw a torch in there just to see if there's any big nasties?
But are we standing on like the edge of a hole? Is that
no? So it's
It's
more
not a shaft.
No, it's a shaft upwards, if anything.
right?
Do we see
goes
natural
up.
sunlight? Or does
You can see a little bit of natural sunlight. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, fairness.
I'm just gonna say yes because
I
I didn't really plan this bit.
We're just filling it out of the world for you. That's fine.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for doing my job for me.
Yeah, no worries at all. Okay, well, if there's nothing of particular interest that we can see, and our job here is to kill kobolds so that the miners can return, I say we go to where the kobolds are and kill them.
You didn't let me finish Jibblewick's Malk's perception roll.
It's true. I see.
Interrupting midway through seeing some fucking mine carts.
I like to think Nagash still hasn't seen the mine carts though. And he's startled shortly.
He's just looking in shadows, going, don't.
It's like you haven't unlocked anything in a game. You can just see black silhouettes of what could be there in the future when you see it.
So, along with the mine carts, you see some peculiar scratches on the floor that don't appear to match up with any of the tools or equipment in the area. They seem to originate from one wall in particular.
Can I investigate these scratches?
I mean, with your rolls, you might as well.
Although, technically, I haven't even noticed them yet, so I guess not.
Yeah, that's true. We need Malk to point them out to us so that we can continue investigating them.
Look over there.
We both look over there. Nicely done. Nicely done. We got ourselves around this one, boys.
Yeah. The look over there. It doesn't actually describe what you're looking at. You're just kind of looking in a general direction now. So going.
I point in the general direction as well.
Okay.
Guys, more wall.
I'm investigating. A bloody 8 with a +5. Scratches.
Do you know what, Doug? Because it's been pointed out to you, I'm going to give you a fucking advantage. For the love of God, please.
What?
There's only so much I can do for you people.
Someone's hacked this website.
That's exactly what you were complaining about last week, and it's just not true.
It is. Wow.
Oh, fuck.
You also see the scratches on the floor.
+5.
Again, they appear to be originating from one particular wall. And for the love of God, Dalton, please save us from this.
Right, so can I deduce this first? Like,
if you want to.
We obviously know what kobolds look like. Are these scratches similar to what they could create, being like small lizard people? Are they like, do the claw mark scratches match up?
I mean, we're talking about solid stone here.
I mean,
do you think claw marks could be made into solid stone?
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be a nature check, which I am about to do.
Oh, God.
I mean, I hadn't finished, and I've rolled a solid 12 there. So you can't rely on us rolling dice. This is ridiculous.
So I kind of have to.
17.
Oh, thank fuck.
Kept roll.
This was on a nature check, not an investigation. Congratulations, Doug. You know that they are not kobold scratches. They don't appear to be made by anything natural.
Yes, these are kobolds.
So they're literally they're scratches. There's no like crack in the wall. There's no obvious hole other than potentially
if someone
up.
rolled a high enough fucking investigation check.
All right, here we go then, boys.
Fucking God.
Nope. No.
All of you die because you're fucking stupid.
There we go. How about that? How about that 19? That good enough for you?
Thank fuck.
Just stood there staring at it until I figured it out.
One day I might actually figure out what the fuck I'm doing here. Okay. So, you've seen the scratches on the floor. You know that they are not made by anything natural. Looking at the wall around it, oh look, there appears to be some sort of strange crack around a particular strange rock. Slightly different color to the rest of the rock in the area. And there's no gems in it, unlike all the other rock in the area.
It's Thanos.
Done. Copyright infringement. Let's not go there. Jesus.
What, on the music or on the character?
Both.
I mean, it is Disney.
Yeah. All right. So there's a crack. How big is this crack? Or is it?
Well, I mean, it kind of encircles the strangely coloured rock.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anyone want to make a deduction?
I would if I could. If I'm honest here.
It's some kind of a door.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How do we open the door?
I can try and persuade the door open for you. Or perhaps intimidate
Didn't
it.
someone get a key earlier? Or am I thinking of a completely different thing?
Did we get a key?
Brother Malk, I want you to roll a perception check, please.
What? Whether I've got a key?
Just do the fucking check.
Oh, dear.
I pray. Oh, fantastic.
I open my bag and hundreds of keys fall out.
So, as you approach the now obvious door, Brother Malk, something in your pocket starts to stir and vibrate slightly. Something you picked up recently.
Oh, if only I could remember what I've picked up. Was
something that was relatively disgusting when you picked it up.
Some of the weird coins which I got off the kobolds, or was it like the head or the body or something of the first one I punched?
What about that thing you found in the toilet?
What was the thing I found in the toilet?
I mean, that is pretty disgusting.
You found a coin in the toilet.
Did I find a magical toilet?
A silver coin.
You showed us that you found something.
I didn't necessarily say that it was currency.
Oh! It's actually a key.
It's like there's like a small vending machine, like coin entry section, and you pop it in, and the door just springs open, and you can grab yourself a Diet Coke, and then it closes again.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
use it, boy.
I take out my glowing toilet coin and move closer towards the door, hoping that. Or can I see that there's a slot I need to put it in?
Well, as you move it closer, it starts to glow a bit more bright, kind of letting off a blue glow, similar to the eerie blue aura that Doug's magic rock was given off when you found it. And in the door / wall in front of you, a little band of light opens up, kind of vertical band of light, about the same size and width as the coin.
Although awe-inspired, I
dive to the floor out of the band.
I stand there heroically. Full action pose.
Dalton all along, shining. How did he get there? No one knows. Right.
So to confirm, Nagash is on the floor carrying like a pathetic baby.
Yeah, Nagash is on the floor carrying like a baby. You're standing heroically.
Shield out heroically.
Brother Malk is kind of just standing there with a coin, kind of.
I want to ready an action though. Like I'm amazed, but I'm also very hesitant about the situation.
Lick it!
Okay,
I
what
shout.
action would you like to ready?
Just like a power punch. I'll draw my sword.
Okay.
You have a sword?
You're going to push that key in the slot? Slip it in?
Just slipping it right in there.
But I wish I had a coin sound effect.
Vibrating doodad into its slot, into its hole.
Wiggle it about a little bit until I find the little bit and then turn it.
Make sure it gets the right purchase.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you press the key or press the coin into its slot, the door starts to open.
It comes out another slot at the bottom.
Yeah, and you have to pick it up and rub it against the rock for a little bit.
You have to rub it against it on the side.
Breathe on it, rub it a little bit in your fingers. Wish for luck.
So you stand there for a few minutes and there doesn't
repeatedly try
anything happening. So the coin's disappeared into the slot. There's still a light coming out the door, but nothing appears to be happening until eventually you hear a little clicking behind you.
Nagash, stop it!
And all of the walls around you start making little ticking and clicking noises. And eventually, the door rumbles and starts to open up. From inside, you hear, "Thank fuck, someone's fucking found key!"
Shut the door, quickly! Shut the door again! I shout.
I'm not shutting the door.
It's probably some ugly dwarf.
It is exactly that, Dalton.
Here to cramp my style. Ugh, dwarves.
Very ugly dwarf called John.
If there's any, how do I already know his name? He hasn't introduced himself. Is he wearing a name tag?
No, that was a reference for Doug, and a really shit accent.
Oh,
no.
Well, that's something all of us can enjoy.
As the door opens up, this small, rather smelly and quite dishevelled-looking dwarf rushes to the door, rushes to meet you. Thank fuck, you've let me out. I couldn't escape. Someone locked me in here. I got pushed in. Then they laughed as they closed the door behind me.
What are you rambling about, boy? Who are these people you're talking about? What happened here? I say.
Well, I didn't fucking see them, did I? They pushed me from behind. It was a wee little short thing that did it to me. But there was
one of your own kind?
No. There was some fella behind in a strange hood. Couldn't see his face.
Oh, he probably had an Asbo or some such. Christ, I know who we're dealing with now. The Asbo King. From Asbonia.
So yeah, the dwarf kind of like shakes your hands, thanking you repeatedly, and starts sidling towards the exit, trying to get out of here right quick.
Stop, boy!
What's in your room?
You can go and have a look if you like. I'm fucking out of here. Yeah. Shakes your hands a few more times and continues to sort of away towards the door.
I don't let go of his hand when he shakes my hand.
Is there anything you need? I've got to get back to my wife. You see, I've been missing for days.
Before you go,
what's your wife's name?
That's not the question I was going to ask. Before you go, what is this room you've been digging here? What's this door all about? Explain yourselves. You've clearly woken something from the depths of hell, no doubt.
We didn't awake nothing. This was the storeroom.
This was the storeroom, was it?
Aye.
You are an impotent fool.
Well, how else do you think I survived down here for a week? There's food and supplies down here for when we're working.
So this magic rock is just the door to a fancy storeroom?
Yes.
That seems a bit unnecessarily complex and complicated, wouldn't you agree? Nagash, wouldn't you agree? I turn to Nagash and say that. Nagash, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you don't believe me, you can go and have a look. That's fine.
We're not going in your rape room.
Whoa.
Oh, dear.
Well,
can we do a persuasion thing to see if he's telling the truth?
I still haven't let go of his hand, by the way. This is like a Donald Trump style handshake going on right now. Never ending.
It'd probably be what's the word? Not persuasion, the other one. The opposite of persuasion.
Intimidation.
No.
Insight.
Intimidation.
Intimidation.
I intimidate the truth out of him. In fact, I will. Squeezing his hand slightly stronger, I say, tell me what's really going on here, John.
Sick.
What did you say, Doug?
I got a 4 on my insight check.
I, however, rolled a solid 22 on my hand-squeezing intimidation trick. What really happened here, John? What have you been doing?
I'm telling you the truth. I just got pushed in a fucking cupboard. You don't believe me? Go and have a look. It's where we store all the pissing rock.
All right, John.
Walk into the room, and what do I see?
Walking into the room, you see large piles of glowing blue rocks, along with a couple of barrels of food and supplies that appear to have been left there for a while. Many of them eaten.
He's telling the truth.
Ah, you win this round, John. But you're on my list. I'm going to be keeping an eye on you. In fact, you're going to be our guide, because we're going to solve this mystery, the mine mystery, and you're going to help us right now. Lead the way. And I kind of push him.
John looks at you, worried and confused, and possibly somewhat aroused. He's not entirely sure, but he these masks, they get to him. Says, well, there's not really much left to look at. It's just the unexplored region.
It's just a bit on the wee map you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm going to slink into that room a second for these rocks. The good old Arcana check.
I'm going to...
21 this time. Success.
Hey. So, sorry, was that an Arcana check to inspect the rocks?
Yeah.
Okay. So, walking into the room, you're immediately hit by the aura of the rocks, as you were with the minecart. These are essentially the exact same rocks as before. However, they seem to be a little diminished. There's not as much magical energy stored in these ones. It might just be because they're not as fresh, as it were, or you can't exactly put a number on it, but they just feel a bit weaker than the other one.
But there is more of them.
There are more of them.
What were you mining here, John?
Well, we mine the ores and
what sort of ores?
Oh, you know, gold, iron, copper, bronze. Not bronze. Bronze is an alloy, not an ore.
What's the blue? What are the blue stones?
I don't know. It's some cobalt thing. They seem to like it, so we mine it for them.
When you say like it, what do you mean?
Well, they pay for it.
And what do they use it for?
Why should I give a fucking no?
Are you trading with the filthy, disgusting kobold?
Oh yes, the ones in town in the Kobold Quarter.
Oh, those are the worst. Pretending to be people.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. All right, John. I think I've seen enough from your character for this episode.
I feel like John should have to stay with us until we leave.
The last thing we need is another Colin in this situation.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure Colin was on the boat with me, so he'll be back in town when I need him.
I'm pretty sure he's
still waiting to give his name to the guy at the start.
He's just standing there stubbornly like, nope.
We forgot.
Colin and I went on many adventures after I separated from Jibblewick and Sharam.
Cue the montage.
All right.
Let's just kill this John.
No,
eat his flesh.
No, let's not kill the John. Wait, is what? No, no, we're not eating anybody's flesh. No.
Why?
That's not what decent people do.
I mean, you're not exactly decent.
I'm a decent person. What are you talking about, narrator?
Or people.
All right, Brother Malk, I say. You will keep a close eye on our friend John here, as we all four of us go further into the mine to investigate.
I can keep an eye on him.
No, I can already see you going through your rucksack looking for salt and pepper. So no, not you. No. Malk, you're in charge. And I finally let go of John's hand, which has turned. It's just purple at this point.
It's amazing John hasn't actually asked you to let go.
I know.
I mean, you know, he's a dwarf. His hands are probably bigger and stronger than yours are.
We'll see about that. But it's too late now. I've let go anyway.
Yeah. He immediately runs.
Get it, Malk.
Does he actually immediately run?
No.
Oh.
All right.
All right, let's continue into the other bit of the cave then. If all we found is a complicated storeroom with a key mechanism.
I'm going south. Is it worth just doing that little loop bit? Because I don't get why there's a loop, even if this is a randomly generated map. It's annoying me.
Well, I mean, you can always make up an adventure for yourself.
So wait, was that room full of gold as well?
It was just, yeah, it's essentially a storeroom. It had all sorts of stuff in it.
We'll come back for that. To the unexplored area.
Would any of the food look like it would heal my hit points?
It's mostly just things like bread, cheese, and dried meat.
So that's a yes?
That's a no. That's it's food, not magic food.
But this is a game. No? Okay, fair enough. Let's crack on to the next room.
A large pile of dwarf feces.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be eating any of that food actually, because it's been next to contamination.
Well, I mean, the little might be radioactive.
We go to investigate the other passageway.
So heading up to the new passageway. Again, this is not just the unexplored region that you haven't been to, but pretty much the area that the dwarves haven't really seen. It's mostly uncut rock, very what's the word? Just looks essentially like a fissure in the rocks. It's just about wide enough for you to squeeze down.
I feel like John should have to lead and hold a torch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
Maybe he does. Maybe he also doesn't.
I push John first. Show us the way, John. We're here to help.
I embrighten his torch.
Again, says John.
It's a cantrip. I'll do it as many times as I like. Thank you very much.
So, you continue along the hidden path with John being forced to take the lead.
He knows the way. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it's unexplored.
Also, he's a dwarf. I mean, come on now. Like, if anyone's gonna,
he's
this is his job.
I occasionally prod him with my staff.
As you
stop tenderizing him. I know what you're doing.
As you carry along the way, you realise that the light in the cave system is no longer just coming from the torch. The whole area appears to be getting brighter as you continue moving, and you're on an up. You've noticed that you're on an upward slope. As you continue further and further along, eventually you can hear sounds like. Actually, one of you give me a nature check.
Okie dokie.
Good God.
19.
Very nice. So, as you continue continue up the caveway with the growing light system, you start being able to hear the sounds of running water and scurrying animals, birds, wind in trees. You realise that it seems to be that you're reaching the surface via this little cave system. If you really listen closely and listen hard, you can even hear the sounds of what seems to be civilization. It's definitely a language that you don't recognise.
You sure? I know Elvish and Goblin.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, I'm just double checking.
I know Orcish. Do I understand?
I think
also
I know Abyssal. Is it that?
Also no.
Does John know?
John does not know.
John, have you ever heard of any such nonsense coming from these passageways before? I mean,
No, I mean, we didn't explore it because there was no ore up here, so we just didn't bother. We came a little way, but there was such a massive amount of ore in the other direction that we just kept going down.
Always digging too deep.
Or in this case, not upwards enough. Well, all right. I'm curious to know what's up here.
Yeah,
personally.
I am too. I feel like we should just go straight on.
I say we saunter into civilization and see what's what.
Okay. So you continue happily sauntering along the cave system, and you you see the sunlight getting closer and closer. The end of the cave is very clearly just paces away now, and whilst the sounds don't exactly sound hostile, they also don't exactly sound very friendly. They don't appear to know that you're coming, but it's like I say, it's nothing that you recognize immediately. No language that you know. Doesn't sound like there's a huge number of whatever it is up there. 'Cause you start to be able to make out particular, what's the word? I suppose voices. One of them a lot meaner than the others.
Ooh.
Malk should go have a look.
I'm fine with that. I ponder up. I'm intrigued, but hesitant.
I meant stealthily.
I'm not going stealthily. I'm just going quite normally. Don't sigh.
Okay. So as you continue up along the way there, just happily minding your own business,
I hang back.
What can I see?
I mean, you haven't quite approached the edge yet, and before you do, you hear sounds of alarm. And as with your lack of stealth, there's the loud sounds of alarm and rushing of feet.
Can I, from my further back position, I can hear this alarm and people running around?
Yeah, you can all hear it.
Can I attempt to duck into cover? If there is any?
Well, you're kind of in a, passageway. There's not really a lot of hidey holes around you, unfortunately.
Is it possible to launch John in front of me?
Well, I mean, you're from what I've gathered from your positioning, you're quite, well, not a long way ahead, but you're definitely ahead of the rest of the group.
Okay, I pictured you far ahead, then John, then Dalton, then me, way in the back.
Of course.
As is tradition.
Well, if I can't hide, it's time to put on my fine clothes.
Because you've been naked this entire time.
No, switch into my fine clothes, put on my signet ring, and get out my scroll of pedigree. I think to myself, ponder to myself if this would be an option. But instead I shrug and draw my sword.
That sounds like a good plan.
Can I also draw my sword? Or am I not ready?
As you are attempting to draw your sword, 3 kobolds appear at the lip of the entrance. And it sounds like there's more behind them.
Right. Time for one of those.
To roll initiative, please.
Fancy attacks, Doug. Something big.
12.
Okay, so we've got Dalton at 12.
I don't have any spell slots left.
Oh, no.
Oh, do you only have 1?
No, 2.
Malk, what was that? A 1?
It's alright, it's only initiative.
Oh,
I didn't roll my modifier. It's probably still going to be the worst.
What is your modifier?
Oh, it's 4 as well.
But you're on 5. 12, 12, and 5.
So, before you get a chance to strike, one of the kobolds bounds over the lip of the entranceway, and immediately pulls up his blowgun, sending a. Yeah, ooh, they've had blowguns all along.
It's true. First episode flashbacks. Let's do the Scooby-Doo ending. Which is what I'm intending to do with John, by the way. I reckon he's a kobold in disguise.
Happy ending.
All right.
So he pulls up his blowgun and immediately spits out a shot at Brother Malk.
If he rolls a 1, I want him to swallow his own blow dart.
I'll roll it on this again. What is it? /roll.
My armor class is 14 still.
No, so he misses. Unfortunately.
Say he misses, I actually do a nimble dodge. And
straight into the wall. Okay, Dalton, your turn.
So I'm quite far back, I guess.
You are indeed.
And I only have close range weaponry.
Unfortunate.
So I guess I will spend this round. That's the word. I will spend this round getting as close as I can. Can I get close enough to hit in this round? Bonk someone over the head?
Due to young Brother Malk doing his dodge roll, you can't actually get past him as he dodges in your way.
Right, brilliant. Thanks, Malk.
How narrow is this passage?
It's wide enough that you can walk along it, but narrow enough that it would take, like, a little bit of effort to get past someone.
So, is it wider?
To shoulder past the person.
Is it wider from where the kobolds are coming from? Then
it's wider for the kobolds.
So how many?
Obviously, they are smaller than you.
How many of them can there be in a row?
They've got 2 wide.
Yeah,
but because they're also coming down at you, they're kind of jumping and shooting over each other.
Okay. Right. Well, in that case, I get as close as I can, and Malk gets in my way, and I put my shield up, even though.
Okay.
What's going to happen, eh? Hey, so what's going to happen?
Next is Nagash.
Well, I'm guessing I've got stupid dwarf in front of me.
You have got a stupid dwarf in front of you, yeah.
But surely you're tall enough to be over him.
That's true.
That is also true.
That is also true.
I'm gonna just hurl out a chill touch against the guy with a blowgun.
Okay.
A big ghostly skeleton hand in space. Gotta do that.
Yeah, okay. Roll yon dice.
23.
Oh, definitely hit him.
Now we're talking.
Kind of sounds like you've got a cold, Doug.
Hay fever. So do I have an extra D4?
Yes.
How do I do that? I guess I'll just do it simply. Great. A 1 and a 2.
The kobold staggers. He's wounded, but he's not quite dead.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
In response, yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit out of it today. If it didn't seem obvious already, one of the other kobolds in the group readies his own blowgun and launches a shot way down the ranks into poor John, and manages to hit him because fuck John right in the arse.
Oh.
What's the actual damage? Oh, hang on, I've got it. There.
His death will be on your conscience, Malk. You were the one who dragged him with us. I say.
He doesn't know, but I'm licking my lips.
I can see you doing that, Nagash.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. I can hear you slopping them around behind your mask. You weirdo.
So the little poison dart slams into. I say slams into, pricks John's neck essentially, and he stumbles as it hits him. It's not quite. Doesn't seem to be quite fatal, but he's certainly hurting. And the second kobold, or sorry, the third kobold, also takes up his blowgun and launches a shot at Dalton. And I need to stop rolling like at myself.
No.
And Brother Malk with your 1.
Your 16 will not penetrate my handsomeness.
We can't repel braggartry of that magnitude. Brother Malk?
Yeah,
if you would.
I was rolling with Dex, wasn't I? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I am going to kick one of the kobolds as hard as I can in effort to launch them.
Okay.
After I've hit them with my sword once.
Oh, okay.
Well, I better roll some damage.
Yeah.
Malk is rolling some damage. What's he gonna get? Is he gonna do well? Is he gonna suck? We'll find out once he learns how to type.
Find out next time.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all.
6. 6 out of 8.
Yes.
Okay. And I would then use. Oh, when I stab him, does he fall off the edge?
Off the edge of what?
Reason.
I keep thinking we're next to this massive gorge, but
no,
it was a fissure or something, wasn't it?
What are you
You're in the fissure.
What are you talking about, boy?
Right, fine. In pure confusion and anger, I then kick a different kobold. For 3.
Okay, which kobold specifically?
Was there was 2 facing me, wasn't there? Because there's some behind them.
Well, there's 3 at the top.
I don't think I can kick the ones that far away. So I'll.
Well, they're the only ones that are there.
You've run up to them. You're right next to them.
All right. I do a high kick. I snap the one on the top left.
Okay. Fantastic.
Still very confused about the combat situation, though I am about the arm's length from them.
Oh dear.
Okay. Do you want to explain it? Explain what's happened so far in this fight to you.
I thought they were in front of us. There was 2 in front of us, and then there was more behind them, but we couldn't reach them. That's what I thought it was. But one of those died at the start.
So you are
combat recap, please.
Yeah, quick combat recap for Brother Malk.
Thank you.
You were walking up what is essentially the bottom of a gorge. Okay,
That was it.
Yeah. As you approach the edge, or as you approach the end of it, which was sort of surface level, essentially, you went ahead of the rest of the group.
Yep.
Before you got to the end, you alerted the kobolds with your non-stealthy ways.
Yep.
The kobolds rushed into the gorge, 3 of them, and whilst essentially coming over the lip and coming some way down, they started peppering you with darts. So you were a fair ways from them. You have now run up to them and started drop kicking them like some sort of crazed ninja.
It was more of a flying kick, but yeah, okay.
Well, yeah. Drop kick, flying kick.
So Nagash has killed one. Dalton's killed one.
Nagash has wounded one.
Oh, did he only wound?
What was he? What did Nagash do?
I haven't killed him. I haven't done shit.
I did 3 damage.
Yeah, Nagash has wounded one. You've killed one and then kicked another one.
Can I kick the one which was already wounded from Nagash? I was unaware.
All I've done is jog up there and you get in my way.
That was it. I got confused by the rolls because you did a 1d4 plus 2.
What do you mean?
No, I didn't.
That was my damage roll.
I get confused with the names. Yeah. All that. We'll edit that bit out.
Edit that bit out. It's a live stream.
It's all live and there will be no editing when this goes on YouTube. None. None.
None, I say.
This is the whole point of doing live streams, because I'm too lazy and busy to edit these days.
So you sprint up to these 3 kobolds who were just minding their own business, shooting like target practice darts. And you stab one right in the face and he dies.
Ooh.
And immediately lash out with your boot and kick his mate in the head.
Yeah. And
break his neck. And he also dies.
Ooh.
So I just got a double kill, and the other guys haven't actually got any kills.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, cool. Just taking my badass attitude again.
It's a total difference from last campaign. Just gonna point that out again.
I wipe the blood onto my robes.
You've gone nuts. When I first met you on the docks, I thought you were some bookworm, like, spends all his days praying. Nerd.
He's not that kind of monk.
Nerd is what I was going to shout at you every 5 minutes. But instead...
It's the silly hat.
Instead, you're some kind of badass warrior, kung fu fighting ninja.
Badass warrior or psychopath, one of the two.
Or pirate incarnate with a magic hat. But
actually, yeah,
we're very close to that, Chris. But we're going to leave that.
Yeah,
I think my combat turn is over.
I think Chris hit the nail on the head there. I think you might actually just be fucking nuts.
100% pure psycho.
I'm not even convinced you're a monk. I think you've just dressed as one and you're just kicking people in the head.
Boy, do I look good. I could be a pirate.
So, the last remaining kobold starts to like woot and holler. Clearly,
he's cheering you on, Malk. He's cheering you on. He's a big fan.
Yeah, I double fist pump.
Clearly, calling for aid, and aid appears in the form of 2 clearly larger kobolds. A normal kobold stands about the same height as a dwarf. These 2 are more somewhere between dwarf and human. And as they wander down the precipice towards you, well, I say wander down, sort of aggressively advance down the precipice towards you, you can see that they appear to be wearing some sort of makeshift armor and are carrying long pike-like weapons.
I'm not intimidated.
Oh, good. Glad.
They're going to have an awfully difficult time with those pike weaponry in this small space.
Are they, or are they just going to lower them at you and run?
Good point.
They've got a good point.
Yes, they do.
Step, step, step.
Them pipes.
Whose guy is it? Or is it there? Is that what they're doing?
It was the original kobold's turn, so he'd called for aid. And as the first kobold, or the first of the armored kobolds comes over, sorry, I was trying to quickly write up some stats for these kobolds because I'd forgotten to them over the week that I've had.
It's just not enough time to prepare kobold stats.
Literally.
It's impossible, man.
The first one that comes over the lip, lowers his pike in a menacing fashion towards Jibblewick, and he whilst he's still about 20 feet away, a large bolt of blue energy spears from the end of his pike and launches towards young Mr. Jibblewick.
Yeah, but can he roll 14 or higher? Let's see about that.
Oh, 20. That's a 20, mate. Mate, that's a 20. He just rolled a 20.
That is indeed a 20.
Mate, just rolled a 20 on you. Mate, what was your armor class? 14. You were bragging. Mate, you just rolled a 20. That's embarrassing.
How did you actually do something, Dalton?
How much actually do something help?
You never do anything.
Well, you're dead.
Hits you with 10 damage.
Oh, couldn't have been worse.
Could have been worse. Your arm's off.
I fall to the floor again for the second time this campaign.
Unconscious once more. Absolute maniac, just running ahead, fighting everything, and then being down just straight away.
Yeah, pretty much.
I hope Nagash is.
It is, in fact, Dalton's turn.
Well, I hope this is my turn, but I hope Nagash is like formulating a plan to hopefully use the blue rock. I think he has, because you can clearly use it to do some magic shit on weapons and stuff. So I'm hoping.
Don't make him roll. Don't make him roll.
I'm hoping he'll figure some shit out.
Probably not.
Can I? Am I within range now of them? Can I get?
You can saunter over. You can easily climb over Jibblewick's. Brother Malk's prone body.
All right. And who am I running into first? The spears, the small kobold.
Closest to you is the smaller kobold.
Fuck it. Well, I might as well just bop him while I have a chance. Yeah. I run up and I strike with my longsword. Oh wait, +5 on that, so that's 19. No, +4 on that. Sorry, it's 18. Sorry, old stats. I have hit indeed. So I get to do a D8 +2, 5.
Okay. This is on the small kobold.
Yes.
He dies.
Perfect. One down.
Slap him right in the tit.
Can I take a few steps back after doing that to try and get out of range? Is that allowed?
Yeah. No, I'll allow it because, I'm a nice guy.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right. I take a few steps back and I brace for long spike assault.
Okay. Nagash, it is your turn.
I'm going to do a quick perception.
Okay.
18.
What do you want to perceive?
Percept.
I'm half considering murdering the dwarf. And I'm wondering if the other two will notice.
I mean, does that actually require perception?
Well, I'm looking over there and I'm seeing them, and they seem pretty busy.
Right.
One's unconscious. He's pretty busy.
Yeah. I'm trying to gauge whether they would notice if I just murdered this dwarf.
I mean, they're probably a bit busy to realise what you're doing. I'd be more interested in why you want to murder this dwarf.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I'll attack one of the lizard men.
Kobold.
Same thing.
A lizardman.
Lizard.
Yeah. I'm just gonna chuck out another chill touch. His direction.
Okay. So this is at the
25.
Very nice. So you've critical hit. So
what does that mean again?
You roll twice. You roll your main damage dice twice. So I think what is it for you? A
1
D8. So you roll 2 D8.
Oh. Plus 1d4. Right?
Yeah, and you've rolled that.
So
you only get to roll that bit once.
14?
Yeah, so the kobold that you targeted, your chill touch, basically, what does the chill touch do? I've never actually read it.
You create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range.
Mm-hmm.
Make a ranged spell attack against the creature to assail it with the chill of the grave. Target takes 1d8 necrotic damage. Can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
And until then, the hand clings to the target.
Okay, so essentially your chilly, icy hand of the grave
I'll make a spooky hand.
Like a cousin It.
In fact, I'm going to make that noise every time I do it now.
What?
Ooh.
I kick ass for the Lord. The ghostly hand reaches out to the armored kobold, and sort of phases through him, and as it does, it clearly sort of pulls the poor bugger's soul out with it, and he collapses to the floor dead.
And Nagash thinks to himself, he was saving that particularly good spell for this dwarf, but alas.
What, the critical hit one, or just the cantrip?
He'd been building that one up but he thought, seeing Malk go down, he'd better actually help.
Okay.
Thanks.
So the second armored kobold, seeing his partner collapse and die.
Oh, I didn't know they were together. Ah, young love.
Well, okay, seeing his comrade.
I didn't know they were Russian. Ah, young love.
I mean, that is what all red armor's about. He immediately levels his pike into the mass of people in front of him, and as he kind of waves a little bit, trying to enrage at what's happening, the barrel, or the tip of the pike seems to rest squarely on the dwarf in front, and smashes him in the chest with that horrible blue bolt of energy. And
how did he get to the dwarf? Isn't the dwarf like injured behind me?
Well, yeah, but he's above you, so he can pretty much see the whole group in the same way that you guys can pretty much see their whole group.
Right.
Okay.
You know how, like, when you're
they're above, they're literally above us.
Not above you. Think of it as like you're on the floor of a stadium looking up into the stands.
But he's firing this thing like a gun, right?
He's kind of holding it at his hip and launching down.
Oh, okay. So he's firing things. Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I thought he was within bopping distance. That's why I was caught.
No. Sorry.
It's like a Slayer off Kroll.
Yeah,
kind of.
It's like in all the guns on a.
Or don't the
Stargate?
Yeah, or don't the what are they called? The Black Panther people.
Oh yeah, Wakandans.
Kind of.
Anyway, let's nice sidetrack there.
Yeah, and totally not inspired by any of those things either. Anyway, but whatever. It really wasn't. But it looks a bit more like a whatever. I'll actually write up a proper description for you guys at some point. But yeah, the blue bolt hits the dwarf in the chest, and he with a hiss of pain and just a hiss of pain, really, he collapses to the floor and quietly dies.
Oh no, not John.
Poor John.
He was my favourite.
I can't take blame at this point though, because I am concussed on the floor.
And speaking of,
Dalton would still blame you. I put you in charge, and you're napping during a fight, and now John's dead. Nagash is probably going to eat him now. It's your
speaking
fault.
of, Jibblewick, would you mind doing your what's the word?
Saving throw.
Survival roll. Yeah. DC 10.
Yeah, I will.
Na, na, na.
D10 was it?
No, you roll a D20, and it's if you roll higher than a 10.
10 or higher.
Then, yeah.
Hey, cool. 10.
So that's one of 3. If you want to do that 3 turns in a row.
Yep.
Well done.
Okay. Dalton, it is your turn again.
So, sorry, I've lost track here a little bit. Are there 2 guys with pointy sticks or 1?
No, there is 1 now.
There is 1.
you killed one of them, and Doug killed the. Sorry, Doug killed one of them, and you killed the.
I killed the little one,
the regular kobold.
Yeah. Okay, well in that case, I'm gonna have to go for him. I have to get up close and personal, and okay. I'm gonna just try and crack him in the face. 12.
That is not enough.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. I'm hopefully close enough though that he can't weld his gun effectively at me. I'm in the radius of him, so he can't. All he can do is hit me with it.
Yes, pretty much.
Perfect. I'll take it.
And Nagash, it's your turn. Nagash.
Yes.
It's your turn.
It's your
turn. I'm gonna give this dwarf a quick frisk.
Okay.
Ah, you asshole.
Just a real quick one.
You absolute arsehole.
As it's a hurried mid-battle caress.
Like, I don't actually look down, I just sort of keep looking forwards. A quick pat around.
Yeah. Could you roll me a generic check at disadvantage, please? Because it's in the middle of battle and you're not looking.
2.
You pat his chest, and as you work over the body, you suddenly realise that you're actually patting his junk.
Okay.
You found his coin purse.
I'm gonna do a chill touch, I guess.
Okay.
A 12.
Also, unfortunately, not enough.
Oh dear.
So as you have engaged him in close combat, Mr. Dalton, and as he is trying to use a large two-handed weapon in a small room or in a small area, he is going to be fighting you at disadvantage for the moment.
Hey.
Just need to. I didn't actually write down the stats for this weapon. That's a shame. I'll just have to make them up as I go along.
Improvise. Improvise. Improvise.
So, yeah.
Not a chance.
Cool. And then it's back to Brother Malk to make his saving throw.
Oh, yeah.
Saving throw. Oh.
Oh.
That's 1 down, 1 up.
1 up, 1 down.
And Dalton, it's your turn again.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and smack him right in his lizard face. Again, 22. I believe that will be a hit. So it's a D8 plus 2. Wait, no, I didn't push the hashtag. Mess that up.
Actually got to roll the dice, not just proclaim what the dice
is. 10 though, that's amazing. You probably saved my life. Oh.
4.
Okay. So you slap at the kobold with your sword, and he appears to be quite hurt, quite wounded, but he's not quite dead yet.
I'm not dead yet, it says.
I'm not dead yet. I feel happy. And wash your face. Nagash, it's your turn.
Is Malk still down?
Yeah.
He is, yes.
Just literally failed us.
Don't frisk me. Don't frisk me.
I'm gonna try and medicine him back to stable.
Okie dokie.
So I rush up
and slap him around the face. Get up, you fool!
Give him a right good frisking, and 52. I seem to have got.
Plus
wait.
44. You are the
I rise with new energy and lifeblood.
you're the Tarask of healing.
15.
Okay. So Jibblewick is stabilized. Keep forgetting. Fuck. Brother Malk is stabilized. He is on 1 HP.
But I can fight.
Not really. You're in the kind of you've woken up and someone stood next to you going, "I wouldn't move yet, friend."
All right,
Sort of job.
I'll stay on the floor so I can't be attacked by this long pike.
Okay. It is the armored kobold's turn. Again, he is fighting in an enclosed space, so he's probably going to struggle.
Ha ha! I laugh again. 14 and an 8 are definitely not gonna do shit.
They ain't got shit on me.
Is it my turn again?
Okay, it is indeed.
Oh wait, no, it was +4 is still only 8, so
Yeah, that's not a chance.
yes, you missed. I missed everybody, guys. I missed.
Guess I'm gonna give him a chill touch.
Chilly.
Frisk him from afar, one could say.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Haha! Take that, lizard man.
Okay, with a sigh, he collapses to the death, or collapses to the floor, defeated.
Aha!
Yes, we did it, everybody. We
You
saved
solved
the
my
day.
armored kobold puzzle.
Success.
I'm alive.
Well,
I'm most deadly on 1 health.
well done,
I
everyone.
ready my sword and shut. No.
I vote we take a very quick break here. Replenish our beverages,
for
go for a
reference,
wee.
These are the weapons that they're coming at you with, more or less. Slightly more ornate around the top of the shaft.
Oh,
With
okay.
lasers.
But with lasers, yeah. Got to remember the lasers.
Well, kind of the where the what's the word? Where that socket meets up with the bottom part between the blah, 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 blah. Essentially, the socket down to the second meet up from the blade to the handle. A bit more ornate. There looks to be some sort of mechanism there.
A trigger.
Possibly.
You could say. All right, cool. We will be back in like 3 minutes. So, everyone.
3 minutes? That's barely enough time to have a wank.
Maybe for you.
Everyone,
back in a
go
minute.
get your stuff done.
Okay.
All right. Well,
We're
the first back.
I see.
Got the sweet music playing.
Yeah.
Well, we can have a quick chit chat, quick chin wag.
Yeah, we've got what, like a half hour until.
Yeah, half hour till we wrap up ish.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can get done.
Mhm.
Probably should have a rest at some point.
Yeah.
Considering Jibblewick's almost dead yet again.
Well, it's okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Good morning. How are we all?
Jesus, Doug.
I think Doug just fell off his bed.
Hello.
Hello. We're back, everyone.
Oh, I'm moving quick. Fuck.
So we won the fight, brave and well done as it was. I vote to quickly investigate the corpses while we have a moment.
did you?
No, I'm saying we should do it now.
Okay.
So here is my investigation check. 18. Yeah, +0. Just to see if I can find anything of note, of interest. Anything I could possibly sell later down the line.
So you rifle through the armored kobolds' corpses. Their corpses, not their clothing. And you can tell that the armor's sort of been hodgepodge together out of pretty much whatever they can find. Bits of it are things like particularly dense barks off trees. Other bits appear to be from suits of armor from people, dwarves, elves, all sorts. Obviously, you can have a guess at where they've got this material from. Probably something between stolen and or murdered for. So I've showed you the picture of the what these weapons look like that these armored kobolds have been carrying. Sort of a shorter polearm it's probably about the height of a human, from the bottom of the handle all the way up to the top of the blade.
Yeah.
With the area between the top eye of the blade and the second attachment point being a bit more ornate with some form of mechanism that you don't really recognize. It's not something you've ever seen before.
Okay. Would
Can I do an arcana check on one of these badges?
Yeah.
I got an 8. So
so it, as I said, they're not really anything you've seen before. It's not something, even with the arcane, it's not really anything you'd recognize. Although it feels relatively similar to something else you've encountered. But it's not, like I say, it seems to be different to anything else done. Let's see.
So
is it powered by this magic rock stuff? Can I tell that?
I'm not going to say anything. Because you didn't roll high enough.
Is it a simple or martial weapon?
That's a very good question. It's a martial weapon.
Ah, so I could, in theory, wield it.
You could, although without fully understanding it, you wouldn't be able to utilize it to its full extent. Essentially, unless you figure out everything about it, essentially, it'll just be a polearm for you.
Okay, well, can I do a quick investigation to see if I can figure out the mechanism real quick? Try and get a vibe of it?
You can have a go. I'm gonna, give it a try. We'll do an investigation.
Okay,
check.
9, so to me it's probably just a polearm.
At the moment it's just a polearm. However, you do think that given enough time and, study, you might be able to work it out eventually.
So the magic the magic bit's basically all the weapon, like the top half of the weapon, and the rest of it's just effectively just a stick, yeah?
So okay, I'll
basically Dalton wants to know if he could, because it's quite a big weapon, and he wants to take it with him, but he's trying to reason, can he basically snap the stick in half and take the business end for further investigation later down the line?
I mean, you could do, although it would then just be a stick with a blade on it, rather than being a weapon. And
but I could reattach it to a stick later, along a pole.
I'm going to say because you.
Or can I just carry it with me? Save
you
effort.
might as well just carry it with you, because at this point you don't know if snapping the stick will have any effect.
Fair enough. I would like to carry it with me for a while.
Okay.
Will I have any hindrance in doing that?
Well, only if you, I don't know, try and walk with it sideways down a really tight passageway.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. Cool. I'm gonna carry this with me and try and figure it out later on. Hopefully, I can, intimidate some little lizard guy into explaining stuff to me. Is this a place where we could have a long rest? Or we are, or do we get the impression we're actually still just far too in the open and we could get attacked again at any moment?
Yeah, I mean, at the minute you're kind of, if you think of a chasm with an open roof, where one end appears to be level with the floor, level with the ground level above. That's pretty much where you find yourselves.
Should we perhaps either retreat all the way back to the entrance at the other end, or
it's entirely up to you.
Or perhaps even retreat all the way back to town? What we found.
Well, you could do if one of you would do a perception check.
Right.
Yeah, you have cleared the mine.
Well, we didn't go. Did we go both ways?
Yeah, wasn't there one point we went?
Oh, is this the other way that led?
Yes,
that's my perception, by the way. It was a 7. So.
Okay. You don't. So, in the aftermath of the battle, everything seems to have gone very quiet. All of the sounds of civilization from above seem to have ceased. Who knows? It could be that they're all hiding. It could be that they're gone. Well, obviously now you know that it's kobolds. You don't hear any, actively hear any kobolds up there. So yeah, you've pretty much got two options at this point: retreat back down into the mine, or continue on up the entranceway that you've found.
I feel like we're not done in the mine.
What, the mine behind us, or?
Pretty done in the mine, not gonna lie.
Okay. Well, we could go claim our reward.
To be fair, if we've got armed and dangerous, kobolds who are still completely able to just walk back down into the mine, then we can't go to the mayor and say, "Yo, we've done it," because we could do, but or we could. So here are the options. We push on, and Joy gets knocked unconscious within 2 seconds again. We go back and rest, and then full on charge up here and see what's what.
At which point the mine may have been repopulated. Guards would be repositioned, etc. Or we go back to the mayor and full honest report, like we've cleared the mine, but we found this stuff.
Return with a battalion of his finest men.
Yeah, and return with a few more fellas. Bring
Colin.
Colin's on the boat. Colin the Barbarian he's there. I know he is. I got lost. We got separated in this. Personally, I say we retreat ever so slightly back to the storeroom. Don't lock ourselves in, obviously. Rest there. We set up, a guard to watch, and we all take times taking a long rest.
Sit John's body up.
And then we go up ourselves and figure this stuff out, because we're well-armed adventurers and we can sort this shit.
Yeah, I'm fine for that.
Yeah.
Sure. Did we go up a level yet?
I'll decide. So based on how I feel at the end of this session.
Right, so we've long rested. We're long resting, so I'm back up to 12 hit points. I can also do my reservoir of healing power again, should I need to. On I'm just gonna name a name randomly. Brother Malk, probably.
At least you didn't say Jibblewick.
And
I'm back up to the dizzying heights of 8 HP.
And Dalton, would you mind doing me one of your? Sorry, so just so everyone knows, because it doesn't really need to be quiet. Every time you guys have a long rest, assuming he wants to, I've said that Dalton can do a kind of a mix between an investigation and experimentation, that sort of thing, check to see if he can work out how the this weapon that he's carrying will work.
Yes.
Obviously, it won't just be one check. It'll be until you figure it out, essentially. Until I decide that you figured it out, more or less.
So I just rolled a 14 there, for example.
Okay.
Can we say, since I'm pretty intelligent, so can I give him advantage with an Arcana check or something?
Oh yeah, could we work together on it?
Yeah, if you want to.
I don't know how this is going to work.
I guess we just.
Well, what we'll do, if you both roll, and then I'll essentially figure it out on the other end.
Do you want me to roll again, or shall I leave my original 14?
So I got 12.
Okay, so in this particular instance, nothing new has been learned. It's still quite a mystery to you guys.
Okay.
You've so far you've managed to figure out the balance point of the weapon, so you can at least hit people real good with it.
That's pretty important. I know you said you don't really have the stats up for this yet, but so you're probably not going to know dice and hits and stuff. But
no, I will.
If we can find that out for next time,
that'd
be lovely. Because then I would actually consider.
Sorry, what's your current weapon actually?
Current weapon is a longsword. Yeah.
Okay.
I also have a mace in my back pocket, I guess.
Cool. I will. I'll figure out some stats by next time we.
Fantastic.
Next time we play. I mean, I wasn't planning on throwing these guys at you yet, but why not? Why not? Cool.
Okay.
So having a long rest. Yeah. Do you want to? You're going to sally forth into up that gorge, eh?
Yeah, stealthily this time.
Okay.
That is not my. I'll give it a try.
Okay, if each of you would like to give me a stealth check as you sneak past the slightly smelly corpse of John.
For fuck's sake!
Or in your...
Hang on.
2 and a 3 and a 21.
I just blaze on by.
So whilst Brother Malk is like doing sick ass flips and shit in the absolute silence, like jumping back and forth across walls like some sort of martial arts master / Batman / Spider-Man, the two of you are clomping along the floor, literally trying to find every single puddle and jump in it, making as much noise as you can, throwing rocks back and forth at each other, arguing.
I'm just doing spells wildly in the air.
Yeah, Dalton decides that it might be real good fun to put his foot on John's corpse and give it a little squeeze so it does the corpse moan.
I'm using control flames to change the torch colors so it's like a disco.
Brilliant.
Dalton in the background. And eventually the three of you rave your way up to the exit, this portion of the cave, and essentially find yourself on the outskirts of a small kobold village. I say outskirts, you're more like the wall is part of the whole, or the whole is part of the wall even. It seems to be a relatively, or at least at some point it seemed to have been quite a well-stocked village, quite a long-standing one, as opposed to sort of a ramshackle series of shacks. It's more little huts stationed around. There's a central fire pit. All of the huts seem to be about the same size. There's one much larger hut, and then a sort of mid-sized hut on the top of a little hill that appears to have been fabricated. The hill seems to have been built rather than naturally occurring.
What are the huts made out of?
Just wood, local resources, kind of Wattle and Daub style huts.
Shall we burn them down?
Also, just to make sure,
maybe we shouldn't.
I never got the chance to fucking say it. The village appears to be abandoned. There's no one here at the minute, or at least no one you can see.
Right. But when we first came up here, it was full of sounds of civilization.
Well, I said there were a few voices.
Okay.
We've gone already.
Well, I'm gonna do a perception check. 17.
Okay. So you sort of, look around, check a few windows, what windows there are. No glass. And there doesn't appear to be anyone here. It's almost got a deathly silence to it, you could say.
Would you say it's too quiet?
I wouldn't. No, it's just like it's the sort of quiet you get when like walking through the middle of a busy town centre at night when everyone's gone home.
Would you say the church bell rings ominously and we all turn towards the church, knowing that someone's inside?
Silent as the grave.
You could say it's pretty much silent as the grave, yes.
Have the bodies of the kobolds we killed earlier been moved?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a bigger hut, like a sort of head honcho, big cheese kind of?
So there's a number of smaller huts. There's about 5 huts, and I'm not going to describe the insides of all of them. So don't you fucking explore them, I swear to God. Otherwise my description will literally be, it's a hut, you find hut-like things in it. Like Java. Yeah, there's 5 sort of standard huts, little small ones. They just appear to be your average kobold, well, I say average, mildly above average kobold dwelling. there's one significantly larger hut that appears to be more like a longhouse style job, and then a slightly larger hut that's on top of a hill that's been made rather than naturally forming.
Well, that's the one we want to go to. That's the big cheese hut. Full of cheese. How do you want to play this, boys? I say.
Well, let's check this. So there's 5 little huts, like a bigger long hall there. Then up a hill, there's like an even bigger building.
Yeah.
Shall we just go straight for the biggest one?
Well, let's check out the. I reckon.
Which one? Sorry, you cut out for a second for me.
The like long haul type one.
Okay.
Whilst we're on the way to the bigger one.
So you head into the long hall. The doors appear to be like, well, there's not really doors. It's more like a cloth laid across the opening. Going inside, obviously, you've got a stoop because they're built for kobolds, not for peoples. And it's quite dark and again very quiet inside. As you pass your way through the building, it appears to be a mixture between a gathering place, like a meeting hall, come shared eating venue, almost like a rudimentary feasting hall of some description. And then as you pass into the back rooms, as it were, that are separated by little barriers, it shifts more into almost like a barracks, as each of the little alcoves has a ramshackle stand made out of twigs, some of which still have the kobold's impromptu armor on it. A few little, what appear to be weapon racks, and a couple of the pikes, their hafts broken and the blades bent, are scattered around.
I see.
Does it look? I'll do an investigation. Oh.
Very nice. What were you going to say, Doug?
Does it look like they are? I mean, it's kind of obvious, but does it look like these weird weapons are like being manufactured or repaired or whatever, or they're just broken and then they're broken and left, sort of thing?
So with your investigation check, I'm assuming you're investigating sort of the area rather than just the weapons, or are you doing just the weapons?
A bit of both.
Okay. So from what you can see in the local area, there's been how to describe it. There's a couple of signs of struggle, although it's not very obvious. It's less like someone's come in, smashed everything up, and more like something was very focused, came through and did what it needed to do, and left. The weapons appear to have been broken and more or less broken in combat, and just left where they fell, essentially.
Oh, I see. The plot thickens.
So something attacked the kobolds first. Dun dun dun.
And it wasn't us. We did it afterwards.
Yeah, we were the second round. Yeah, it probably was John, that little dwarf bastard. Okay. Well, we know something's up in this village, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, and we know.
Also, I'll add an extra bit to the investigation for Nagash, because there's a little bit of extra information I can give. As you've been sort of wandering around, you've noticed there are like banners, and on the armor there are little emblems and symbols like daubed on in primitive paints that appear to they're not you. You notice that they are not the same as the what's the word? Markings that were present on the other armored kobolds that you found or that you fought earlier on.
Two tribes come to war. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perhaps a civil war or a summit.
Maybe,
perhaps indeed.
Maybe we should announce ourselves as here. In the hopes.
I think we did a pretty good job of that. With
No, but in a more friendly term this way. Sorry about that, everybody. Would like to talk now. We'll have a chit chat, please.
3 great guys out here.
One of them smelling decidedly of corpses.
In fact, fuck it. I'm going to do exactly that. I stroll outside and I look at the big building on the mound, effectively, and I just shout. Say, what were you going to say?
No, nobility papers in hand.
Nobility papers in hand.
Having already gotten changed into your fine clothes.
Oh no! Fine, I'm not getting my phone clothes out for these peasants. Hello. Anybody up there? What's been happening?
The dark silence replies with one of the curtain hangers just falling to the floor. In that essentially you get no reply.
All right.
Yes.
Don't want to talk, eh? Well, I'll come to you. Now, don't try any funny business. No sneak attacks or blowguns or anything like that. Just coming to chat. See what's going on. Because I'm getting the impression that something's not right here.
Again,
you could need our help.
I like the idea of you holding out papers like they're like a police cop's badge. It's just out in front of you. Do
you want to see my scroll of pedigree? I'm a noble, and I have the ability to secure an audience with any nobility. And I'm going to use my persuasion to try and persuade them in the tone of my voice that I am one to be trusted and perhaps loved.
Again, you get no reply.
I'm starting to think there's nobody here.
Yeah, you might be right. Well, I'm going to go check out the big building anyway. Either way.
Yeah, I'll go too.
Malk, lead the way.
Follow, as I am tired and have no unique ideas.
Well, finally, someone admits it. So, okay, the 3 of you go into the larger building and are immediately beset upon by thousands of kobolds. No. No, you are immediately beset upon by an awful rancid stench.
It's Nagash.
Is it a stench I recognise all? Well,
yeah, it is the horrible stench of death. Opening the door, it's very obvious that this is was the chief kobold's hut. There's what would amount to fine tapestries made out of whatever materials they can get hold of on the walls, antlers, pelts, all sorts of things, and a very large mound of corpses in the center of the room. It appears to be the entire population of this village.
Well, fuck.
And against the far wall, in his chair, the village chief sits with a very large sword through his chest, pinning him to the chair.
All right. Well, that's an image that will haunt Brother Malk for all of his years. And I say we wrap up there.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okey-dokey.
So, yeah. Excellent. We will crack on next time. We'll get to the bottom of this kobold invasion slaughter mystery. And
next Wednesday, didn't we?
Sorry?
Was it next Wednesday we agreed?
Next Wednesday will be our game. Absolutely. So thank you very much for listening and watching and etc. etc. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, follow the adventures of Dalton, Malk, and Nagash next Wednesday as we continue not knowing how to adventure. So thanks very much. Mucho gracias.